Obvious privileges of citizenship is the right to vote, but in College Park, which is a suburb of Washington, D.C., it's in Maryland, it's just another outdated tradition. College Park City Council just voted to give non-citizens the right to vote, and the new law does not just apply to legal permanent residents either. Even illegal immigrants can cast a ballot. Todd Larson is a resident of College Park. He's campaigning in support of this law, and he joins us tonight. Todd, thanks for coming up.
Thank you for having me.
And I mean that, actually. We try to get a lot of people involved in the crafting of this law. Your mayor. And it was hard to get anyone. And so we're glad that you're here to represent this side of it. This is one of these stories that seems remarkable, I think, to a lot of people, but also seems like the beginning of something new. And I think a lot of people suspect that all the publicity around protecting illegal immigrants is leading to this, letting them vote. So let me just ask you the obvious question, which is, if non-citizens can vote, people here illegally, what's the point of being a citizen?
Well, there's a lot of reasons that people want to be citizens in the United States, and a lot of people in College Park who are currently non-U.S. citizens are striving to be citizens. They're obtaining green cards, they're becoming citizens so that they can fully take part in our American democracy, which includes voting in federal elections. What College Park has done is allowed them to just vote in local elections only. So this is just municipal elections. This is just for the mayor and the city council about issues like trash collection, all the things that we all share together in College Park, Maryland.
The issues that really matter, though. I mean, I think those issues are meaningful issues to people. I mean, of course they are. You know, local elections matter. Allowing illegal immigrants to vote dilutes, however, obviously, the voting power of citizens. I mean, it undermines the power of citizens, right? By definition, mathematically.
I don't think that's a good way of looking at that. I think the better way to look at it is that all these folks are residents in the city of College Park. They're all contributing to the community. Many people own homes. They take part in local events. They are helping to fix up the community.
Are those requirements for voting?
No, they're not, but these are folks...
Oh, so you don't actually know. I mean, so it doesn't... You're saying some of them may be doing that, but some of them may not be doing it. The law is agnostic on that question.
Absolutely, it's agnostic, but what we're seeing is that, folks say, hey, these are my neighbors, these are people that I like, these are people that contribute to the community in many ways, why can't they vote like I do?
What if I mean, the point of this, obviously, is that 80% of illegal immigrants support Democrats. This is a way of packing the vote. But what if I'm a Republican who works in College Park, and I commute there every day, I spend a ton of time in College Park, I'm not a resident of College Park legally, why can't I vote?
Because you have to be a resident of a municipality to vote there. You have to.
What does that mean? If I'm a homeless, but if I'm living on the sidewalk in College Park and I'm here illegally from Guatemala, you'll let me vote?
No, you have to have an actual address in College Park to vote.
The homeless are not allowed to vote in College Park, is that what you're saying?
Currently, under College Park law, no, you wouldn't be able to vote if you're literally without an address. But as long as you have an address, you're a resident of College Park, you can now register for the 2019 election and be able to vote.
Well, that seems kind of discriminatory to me.
Well, I think
you're not letting American homeless people vote, but you are letting illegal aliens vote?
Well, I think what we're looking at here is really that folks put down roots in College Park. They're here to stay in College Park. They're contributing to College Park. But how do you?
None of those are voting requirements. That's just propaganda. You're just saying they're great people. They're doing a great job. You don't know that, and the law doesn't require them to be any of those things. You're just saying anybody can vote as long as you're a resident of College Park.
Well, the issue here is, if you look at it in terms of students, actually, if you declare your residency as College Park and you're only here for 2 years or 4 years, you can actually vote in College Park elections. But we have a lot of immigrants who've been here for 10, 20 years in College Park, but they can't vote because they're not yet citizens.
What does it mean to be an American, then? I mean, the whole promise of citizenship is once you become a citizen, now you're an American, and you get to determine what your government looks like. We have self-government here, in contrast to many of the countries from which these people are coming. But you're erasing that distinction, and now it doesn't really matter. Being an American has no advantage over being a citizen of another country.
Well, there's a lot of privileges of being a citizen of the United States, not just voting in a municipal election. I mean, that's a very minor thing.
Voting, of course, is the key privilege. It's not a minor thing.
But this is about voting. You have to be a citizen to vote in a federal election, and that's by federal law. We're talking about the town that you live in, right?
And that was affected by the vote last night to give illegals the vote. And by the way, there's no question, you and I both know that within a year, Democrats nationally have been calling for illegals to vote because there are a ton of them, and it would help them. So this is the beginning of a national debate on this subject, let's be honest. But for right now, why does it help you at all to be an American in College Park? Why does that citizenship have any meaningful upside in College Park?
Well, let's be honest. This is not some slippery slope to changing the way the United States is governed. This is actually something that's been going on in College Park for years, in Maryland for years. There are a number of municipalities who've been doing this for decades. And it's just a way to say in a municipal election that you are welcome here to vote.
Whether you're for it or against it, let's be totally clear. This is an attempt to change the way America is governed. It indeed is changing the way America is governed, and maybe you're for that. Well, let's not pretend it's always been this way. It hasn't.
Well, actually, for most of our country's history, non-U.S. citizens were allowed to vote all over the United States.
That's not true.
No,
not for most of our history. That is not true.
For decades, up until the 1920s, until there was an anti-immigrant backlash in this country, non-U.S. citizens were allowed to vote.
Just to be totally clear, you think non-citizens should be allowed to vote everywhere?
No, my point is that that is the history of our country.
But why shouldn't they be?
If
they can vote in College Park, why would you be against it in other places?
Because that's not what's at issue here. This is
because you don't want to admit it. Because this is part of a pretty radical program that most people would hate if they knew about, I think.
I don't think most people would hate allowing local people to vote in local elections. And you have school board elections opening up to non-U.S. citizens all over the country.
I've noticed. It's the beginning of a trend. Todd, thank you for coming on and defending that.